Well, we have just arrived back to Clair de Lune. She is sitting here quite happily on the canal. No obvious problems. All of the tarpaulins are still in place. We've just driven down from Belgium, about 7.5 hours, and we're going to open her up. So I guess this video is going to be bringing Clair back to life after 6 weeks sitting here idle. The first thing we have to do is let ourselves in through these tarps. I guess we can unlock the door, but I'll need to undo those ropes that we secured here just to hold it down. Okay, with the ropes out the way, we can come back inside and let's see what's been happening. One of the first things we always do when we walk onto a boat, especially our boats if they've been idle for a while, is have a good smell, because your nose, you adjust when you're on the boat. So it's really great walking back on and just kind of, smelling if there's anything a little off or strange. She smells fine, actually. Sometimes there's, kind of like a musty smell, or sometimes a little bit of a sewage smell, but nothing. This is great. I have a feeling that she used to leak, and when we put the tarpaulins up, that has stopped that. So no, she's looking in good shape. Next thing to do is bring a few things inside and get the power on. So that'll involve going to the engine room. We've converted the stern cabin to a bit of a workshop at the moment. Before I go down to the engine room, I just wanted to get and grab the multimeter so I can test the batteries. Engine room is here through the hatch. So open that. It doesn't lock, which is a bit of a shame, really, because no one's going to walk off with the engine, but it does mean that things that are down here, I suppose, are technically not secure. Although it doesn't seem to have been a problem. But yeah, something for us to consider. All right, so in we go and down the stairs. Of course, it's going to be dark down here because we have not yet turned on the power. There is a light in this room. Whoop. Okay. Well, there was one more step than I remembered. All right, so I bought myself a torch here, and all looks good. Everything is where it should be. Okay, so turning the power back on. First things first, the batteries are all stashed over here. They're a little bit of a mess at the moment. I don't know what the previous owners did. We put these new batteries in. There's only 4 of them at the moment for the house batteries, which is still pretty good. But I've noticed that there is actually 2 extra battery, these steel, 2 extra battery compartments here. So the boat could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries like these ones, which are 1400. Are they? No. 225 amp hours, 1150 amp. 12-volt batteries. So we could have another 4 of those to give us 8, and probably when we upgrade to lithium, which is the plan, should give us more than enough power. Okay, next step is for me to go grab the multimeter and we will measure the batteries. So this is a little bit of one of those trust me type situations, but I've measured the cells, so the individual batteries are still good. They're, reading over 12 volts. I'd like them to be a bit higher, but we hadn't fully charged them before we left. They're wired together in a series, so the 2, so this sort of, I guess, essentially forms one battery is reading 24.5, which is fine. That will do for now. So that's all good. So next things is to start turning a few things on. Now, the fun thing about this is I was never given a manual and told what order to turn things on in, so or turn them off in. So, it's a little bit of a guess. But the first thing we can do, turn the house bank on, the main switch here, on. There we go. All right, so that, we turn the generator on. That gets us to the generator battery. We turn the generator on here, so we should Nothing yet. We'll start to see something when we run the generator there. And then the main one here, we turn the inverter isolator. So the inverter is now on, and here we go. You can see the inverter starting to come on. So that's great. We should have some power now. We'll also turn this inverter on, and I think that is most of it. We've got a couple of other, so that's the batteries turned on down here in the engine room. There's a couple more switches that we can turn inside this cupboard here. Fuse panel, we've got a couple of switches. This is the hydrofor, and then the lights for the engine room. Okay, and then the other one there is house bank. What's this? Okay, I think we're good there. So let's see what's happened. Now with the house bank on, if I have any electricity at all, there we go. I've got engine room lights now, 24 volt up and running. Let's go get the inverter on. She's slowly coming back to life. Now we've got that sorted out down below, we can come into this panel and we've got our mains on. And then we can turn on, we don't need this lot, but we do need, here we go. This will give us our lights throughout the boat. So we'll turn all of those on. The rest of that we don't need for the moment. None of that we need for the moment. Oh, I can hear some beeping down below.
Gas alarm.
The gas alarm has turned on. That's a good thing. Let's have a look here. Okay, with those switches on, we now have lights in the engine room. Right, so that's the 24 volt panel was up in the wheelhouse. Now down here in the main house, we have the main panel for the 240 volt. And it also controls things for the inverter and so forth. So, yeah, we can turn on these. I can't read them from here. Outlets, aft cabin. Yeah, so these are basically the power outlets in the various rooms. The heater, well, we don't need the heater on. Sewage pump, we do need the macerator on. Fore cabin, mid cabin. Okay, and then here, I'm going to turn to generator. I'm going to put that one on. I'm going to leave that boiler off. Trace input can stay on. Okay, so I think we're all good here. Now, we should have the inverter running, but we'll check it. So the inverter doesn't seem to be running because we're not getting power to the sockets or the fridge. I suspect it's as simple as that. There we go. Turned on. We now have inverting on. That's drawing power from the batteries and the inverter is on. If I go back down, the fridge should now be on. And I can hear the refrigerator running. So we've now got power. Next trick is charging the batteries. So here's our battery meter. It's not very good. You can see we're just above the red. So batteries have still got some charge. That's fine. But we're going to turn the generator on. And if I've done everything successfully, turning the generator on should be as simple as turning to auto. There it goes. Oh yeah. Okay. Now you can see on the inverter panel here, this is showing that it's detected an AC source. It's currently, I think it's seeking it at the moment. It knows it's there, it hasn't settled on it yet. That'll stop flashing in a minute. Shut that there. And once that stops flashing, then the bulk charge should start. There we go. So now we are charging the batteries, and we wait until we hit float here and our batteries will be charged. There you go. After 7 weeks left alone, or 6 weeks, it's Clair de Lune is back in business and she has power again. So there you go. That's the process of turning Clair de Lune back on and resurrecting her from the dead. Batteries have been, the generator's been running now for about 4 or 5 hours. The batteries are almost full, very close. They should switch over to float any minute, and certainly within the next hour or so. And then we'll turn the generator back off and let everyone have some peace and quiet for the night. But thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll continue to share more about Clair as we go on this week. Thanks everyone. Bye.